It looks like we're making more progress in the psychedelic realm. The FDA granted breakthrough status on a new product. I'll explain what all of this means. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. In early March, the Food and Drug Administration granted breakthrough therapy status to the company Mind Medicine for its development of a drug that is derived from LSD for the treatment of generalized anxiety disorder. Their latest Phase 2 trial showed that one dose of MM120 showed robust reduction in anxiety symptoms starting by day 2, and that improvement lasted for at least 12 weeks from that single dose. This is huge. It's these kinds of findings that get the attention of the FDA to step in and say, okay, this looks good. We'll fast-track the approval process to help you develop this further. Let's back up a minute and review what LSD is. The chemical name for LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide. It's derived from lysergic acid, which is found in the fungus ergot, which grows on rye and other grains. So even though LSD is a synthetic compound, its origin is naturally occurring. Psychedelic compounds cause dissociative and reality-altering experiences when they are consumed. And there's a handful of them that are being widely studied for use in treating psychiatric syndromes. Some of the others are psilocybin, DMT, MDMA, and mescaline. This research drug called MM120 is a salt form of LSD. Exactly what it does to the brain to reduce anxiety isn't completely fleshed out. It's complicated, but here are a couple of proposed mechanisms. One is through enhanced neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to form new neural connections. We believe these new connections allow you to change thought patterns and emotional processing. And these kinds of changes allow you to adopt new perspectives and reduce rigid patterns of negative thinking that are associated with anxiety. Another possible mechanism is changing the activity of your default mode network. We all have a default mode network, which is the part of the brain responsible for generating thought when we're not actively thinking about something. It's like your personal tape that runs in the background and takes over your inner monologue when your mind wanders. People who are prone to depression and anxiety tend to have more negative thought loops that keep them worrying and stuck inside their heads. Psychedelics are thought to either turn down the volume really low on this tape or wipe it clean altogether, allowing you to reprogram your thoughts. Now, you don't need medication to reprogram your thoughts. You can do this on your own, but it takes a lot of introspection, discipline, and patience. These medications give you assistance by clearing out the junk and letting you lay down new thoughts on a clean slate rather than needing your new thoughts to be louder and more prominent than the old ones. This almost sounds too good to be true, but these findings are real, and it's what the companies are finding in their clinical trials. We're seeing these kinds of results because of the mechanism of action of these drugs. They work at the rewiring level and not at the replenish brain chemicals level. That's how most of our current medications for depression and anxiety work. So back to Mind Medicine and this breakthrough therapy designation. When should this drug become available? Well, there's still probably some years to go, but this designation will speed up the process. Here's a general breakdown of the road to FDA approval. First, you have discovery of the agent. This discovery process itself may take years. Then there's preclinical research to establish a proof of concept for the drug. Does it work like expected? If it looks promising, the company will submit a new investigational drug application. Once their application is approved, they start the clinical trials that are broken into 3 phases, 1, 2, and 3. Each phase uses larger and larger groups of people. If all goes well with all 3 phases and the drug is shown to be effective and safe, the company will submit a new drug application. If the FDA approves the application, the company can start the process of making the drug available to the public. Mind Medicine just finished phase 2, and they expect to start phase 3 later this year. And for comparison, Lykos Therapeutics, formerly called MAPS, was granted breakthrough therapy designation for MDMA to treat PTSD in 2017. They completed their trials and submitted their new drug application in December 2023. The review process is expected to be complete by August of this year. Compass Pathways is developing psilocybin for treatment-resistant depression and general depression. They were granted breakthrough therapy designation in 2017 and 2018, respectively. They are currently in phase 3 trials. Applying for NDA will be their next step once these trials are complete. So we're making progress with this world of psychedelics. MDMA will be the first of this group to make it to market and the second psychedelic used in clinical practice. Ketamine is the first one. Now, if all of this sounds like the devil's work and you find the idea of using drugs to change your brain distasteful, here are some natural options for enhancing neuroplasticity. Physical exercise, meditation and mindfulness. Omega-3 fatty acids, they reduce inflammation and enhance BDNF levels. Curcumin, the active compound that's found in turmeric. Flavonoids, the compounds found in dark chocolate, blueberries, and green tea. Deep sleep, socialization and new experiences, and then intermittent fasting. Most of these interventions work through activating brain-derived neurotropic factor. BDNF is a protein that works like fertilizer in the brain. It helps nerves grow and connect to each other and helps prune bad nerve connections. Although these options don't replicate the psychedelic experience, they can offer sustainable, long-term benefits to brain function and mental well-being. Take a look at some of these other videos that I have talking about these natural interventions for rewiring your brain. Thanks for watching today. See you next time.